Hi, I'm Ms. Plant Thomas or Mary, but your students know me as Ms. Plant Thomas or Ms. PT, and I teach biology. So, just a little bit about me. I grew up in San Diego. I've been living in San Francisco though for 7 years, and I actually moved to San Francisco for Gateway. And the reason was because while I was in my graduate program getting my teaching credential and master's in education, I had the opportunity to student teach in Denmark. And I was so struck by their education system and their prioritization on community and relationship building that I wanted to work at a school just like that. And that's how I found Gateway and moved to San Francisco. A little bit more about me. I love plants and flowers. My last name again is Ms. Plant Thomas. And I also love theater. I see lots of theater when we're not in COVID times, and even in COVID times over Zoom. And I also used to work in theater as a director and stage manager. But I love teaching science, and the three main reasons why I love teaching science are that it's hands-on, it can be connected to the real world, and it provides a lot of opportunities for inquiry. So we can't do all of that in COVID times, but we can do some of it. So for example, this video that you see playing is from last quarter, and this is where we had students design a lab related to paper airplanes, and then we, the teachers, actually filmed ourselves doing the lab so that then students could analyze what we had done and what the results were. So there's still some inquiry aspects to this, some like they designing themselves and seeing what happens, doing the actual science. Real world connections as well abound, especially in the time of COVID. Our first unit is all related to COVID and our immune system. What should your scholar know at the end of this year? Obviously, biology is all about how life works, but we just delve into some pieces of that. One, we talk about how can we prevent the spread of viruses based on what we know about the structure of viruses and the human immune system. That's our first unit. Next, we're going to go into how does changing the DNA of an organism change its traits and talk about cells and what DNA is. And then next semester, so in quarter 4, we'll be talking about how our traits pass from parents to offspring and how life on Earth has changed over time. The whole time we'll also be talking about core science skills that your students should know. For example, this quarter we're going to be focusing on experiment design as our core science skill. So some ways you can help. First, you should check grades on PowerSchool, and we have a really generous retake policy. So if we look at this screenshot of PowerSchool from last quarter, we can see that there are a whole bunch of POL assignments. So POL is all the practice things that we do on the daily just to practice and get used to the content, take notes on it, all of that stuff. But you can see all the way down at the bottom, there's one thing all in caps that says experiment design quiz, and that's labeled proficiency. So all of the proficiency assignments, those are the quizzes, that's where we're actually assessing the content. That will be listed in caps, and it will also always be at the bottom, so they're all grouped together. And those can be retaken. So students can retake quizzes over and over throughout the quarter so that they can show improved understanding. So the idea is if you don't do well on the experiment design quiz the first time, then you should study experiment design more, study your notes more, learn the content better, come to tutoring, all that stuff. And then you can take the quiz again. You can do a retake of it. It'll be a slightly different version, but same content so that I can see, have you learned it better? And I want you to keep doing this until you get the grade that you're happy with, because I want you to continue to learn the material and improve your understanding as we go through the quarter. Some other ways you can help, you can encourage your student to come to tutoring. I have tutoring every Monday and also Thursdays after school. You can encourage your student to use Google Classroom thoroughly. Everything will be posted there. And of course, they can email me anytime. Some other things to know is that we have an embedded honors program. So embedded honors will be happening this quarter, and we'll be talking about this in class, but just something to know, it doesn't hurt or help their grade, but it does add an H to their transcript if they complete it for this quarter. And it's just an extra challenge, an extra opportunity to do some labs. So the video I've got playing is one of the labs that students can choose to do at home that involves removing the shells from some eggs and seeing what happens. So it's just an opportunity if your student isn't feeling challenged enough to know that we're going to be having some outside of class optional activities that they can do as embedded honors. And just a last word, we have the syllabus on Google Classroom. There's also a parent contract on Google Classroom. So if you can make sure to check both of those out, that would be fantastic, just so we can learn a little bit more about you. And if you want to talk more one-on-one, feel free to email me and we can set up a meeting. Thank you so much for supporting your student, and I hope you have a great quarter. Thank you. Bye.